GMC truck, equipped with automatic transmission, air conditioning, AM/FM stereo cassette, and a powerful 4.3-liter 165-horsepower V6 engine, and your choice of a short bed or a long bed, all for an incredibly low $13,995. See this full-size Sierra now at your Southern California GMC truck dealer.
Will you ride with the strength of experience?
For more details, call 1-800-GMC-DRIVE.
The legal limits of self-defense on Action News tomorrow at 5.
The Daytona 500 by STP is sponsored by the First Brands Corporation, makers of STP, Prestone, and Simonize. Craftsman, a line of over 1,600 hand tools, made in America, guaranteed for life. And by Haviland Formula 3 Motor Oil. Add more life to your car.
Take a look at these leaders. Earnhardt, Hilllin, Bodine, Schrader, Michael Waltrip in the top 5 after 83 laps have been completed. And further back, Elliott, Kyle Petty, Jarrett, Morgan Shepherd, Ernie Irvan. How good a race is it? Consider this. We're not halfway. And there have been 22 lead changes. A year ago, 15 lead changes in the entire race. Here you see the rookie, Jeff Gordon, who had such an outstanding run and led in that very first lap. And now that car seems to be falling away. He's back in 19th position at the present time.
I don't think he's having a problem with the car. It was a pit stop. When he pitted, they were in contention, and I don't think they really got it back up out quick enough.
Well, he ran with Dale Jarrett and Ernie Irvan in a draft, trying to catch the leaders for a little bit, Neil, but then the car appeared to get loose, and he eventually lost the draft, and now he's just running out there by himself and totally away from everybody else, and that really hurts.
Earnhardt stays in front, and look at Bodine dive to the bottom of the track, the 86 500 champion. He's coming.
In the 125s, Bodine was the man that could put the heat on Earnhardt. He's been one of the guys we felt like could race with him.
And Earnhardt also said after the race that his car felt better, more stable with Bodine following him than anyone else that followed him that day. So I'm sure he was happy to see Bodine pull up there, not beside of him. He'd like to see him pull up there and run along behind him.
That's what's unique about these cars. Everybody wants a Chevrolet to follow Chevrolet in the manufacturers. Ford follow Ford. But that driver, through the seat of his pants, can tell what is the best car to have behind him. He'll get him a good buddy, and they'll work together on this.
Kyle Petty is back in 5th. Schrader falls to 4th. Bobby Hilllin 3rd. Schrader getting back in this mix.
2 other cars have gone a lap down. We have 34 cars in the lead lap. Kenny Wallace and Chad Little were just lapped a few laps ago. But still, a lot of cars in the lead lap as we approach the halfway mark.
34 cars as we come to halfway in the top lap. It's quite a story. Here's David Hobbs.
Well, I'm down in Junie Dunleavy, Bobby Hillin's owner. Junie, you're having a pretty good run today. You're having a pretty good run today.
Oh, we're having a good time. High Lake Myers has put quite a bit of life into that team, and everything's looking real good.
You've had some interesting drivers over the career. This looks like one of your best choices.
Bobby is first class. We came down and tested with him. He ran quick, and he's running pretty good today.
Fords look good today.
If they get hooked up, they may be able to do something at the end of the race.
Well, there you have it. Junie Dunleavy from Richmond, Virginia, and now down to Mike Joy.
David, let's mention first Kenny Wallace, the rookie, has broken a valve spring. He's on 7 cylinders. Fuel mileage is very important. After a stop, the teams will weigh what gas is left in this can, calculate how much fuel was used, and when they'll have to stop again. They used to put this thing on a bathroom scale, but no more. They suspend it from this hook. An electronic transducer makes the reading. It goes up this wire to where nobody knows, only the race team, into a computer.
13th place, Ernie Irvan. 1991 500 champion on pit road. Went only 40 laps that time.
That compared with 50 laps the first time, Ken, but I tell you, he was beginning to slip back in the field a little bit. I expect those left side tires were really getting worn on him. They are changing all 4 tires on the car this time.
STP RACECAM giving us these pictures, and it's in 20 and 6/10 seconds that Ernie Irvan leaves the pits and gets back into the 35th Daytona 500.
Ed, it looks like you read that earlier. The tires have got to be giving them a little bit of trouble to make that quicker call.
What a great shot as they're coming to speed. You saw him stay below the white line there, Ned, and as he came out, began to blend in. That field just rolling down by him.
That shows you just how fast they are going. Now, he is a lap down now, Of course, others will have to pit within the next 10 laps if they got them full of fuel, and I expect most of them did, so most of them will expect to go to about the 100-lap mark, which would be halfway on this race.
When you have to make a move like this, the only thing you're hoping to say, man, let this thing go green for a while. But I tell you what's so frustrating about this thing, Ned, is you see those guys going by, you're going up through the gears, shifting, winding that motor hard as it'll go, and they're just driving by you like you're sitting still. And like I said, it takes over a lap to get them back up to full speed again.
They're saying he caught a tire. That's what brought him in.
Yeah, the car was getting looser and looser, so that he did have to come in earlier than he expected to.
Ernie IRVAN.
A lot of race car drivers, if they have a flat or anything happens to that tire, they just say, I cut a tire. It's hard to get a real read on what happens. They might be worn out.
Now, are you surprised? We've only had 2 cautions, one for an engine if you're just joining us on Dick Trickle's car, and then Hensley crashed. This has been incident-free and such tight competition, Ned.
Still 33 cars in the lead lap. I'll tell you, that's amazing.
Gun protectant. Nothing works better on your car's leather, vinyl, and rubber. It can turn just about anything into a great-looking car.
Nice car.
What, this pile of junk?
Give it the gun with Son of a Gun. And now give your tires a quick kick with one-step tire care.
My father was in the garage business, and his father was in the garage business. Well, my father was my mechanic all my life. I've got some old Craftsman tools that are still around, which I love and I treasure. My grandfather and also my father's tools, which nobody could ever buy.
1,600 Craftsman hand tools, made in America, guaranteed forever.
He really believed in Craftsman, same as I do.
Only at Sears.
This is where America gets together. Every weekend throughout America, there is great NASCAR racing.
I wouldn't be anywhere else.
Nice to have you over here in the States.
The incredible thing is the different concept on ovals.
It's unbelievable.
Some people just can't get it right.
4 champions sharing a winning formula. HILLIN Formula 3.
You boys ever seen Flat Out Corner?
Sounds rather appealing.
Well, it is if you win.
Complete professionals who rely on the same complete protection you can buy right off the shelf.
I'm wide open all the time.
The only way to do it.
HILLIN Formula 3 motor oil from Texaco.
Why do you go anti-clockwise?
You're in a foreign country, boy.
Getting down to halfway in the 35th running of the Great American Race, the Daytona 500. This is the battle for the lead at halfway. Five laps away this time by. Kyle Petty ducks to the inside. Amazing, that car. Remember, it's set on the pole when the day started. Earnhardt's right beside him. Dale Jarrett's moving back into it another time. He's in 10th. Brett Bodine is up to 9th. And Brett Bodine is just clawing his way through this field. He is flying down to the bottom and picking up positions now.
Yeah, the car is really working down on the inside.
He's up to 7th, and he's still closing ground. Green and white, number 26. The Kenny Bernstein car on the bottom of the racetrack, flying through traffic, pulls up beside Hilllin. Looks like Bodine at halfway wants to be up among the leaders. His car owner, Kenny Bernstein, 3-time World Drag Racing champion, walked away a miracle yesterday from a 300-mile-an-hour crash at Pomona. Mike Joy has more on that story.
Kenny was in the finals last night of the season opener of Pomona against Joe Amato, and as the car got 2/3 down the track, they had a blower explosion. The engine exploded, and the car virtually disintegrated. When Kenny stopped moving, he and the backrest of his seat were sitting alone on the racetrack. The rest of the car was in very small pieces. He was to fly here to watch his car run in the Daytona 500 today, but he's still back in California resting, but he is okay. It was a very tough, grinding crash for Kenny.
One of the most respected, I think, beloved racers ever in drag racing, Kenny Bernstein. And he is a guy that they like down here in Winston Cup racing a ton. Bernstein's car down to the bottom of the racetrack, running right there with the Donlevy car. Meanwhile, up in front, look at this one. Here's Kyle Petty taking the low side. On the high side, Earnhardt. And right behind them comes Jeff Bodine.
Ned, I saw you look over at me when Kyle Petty made that pass. Usually you have to creep up there and creep on by. Kyle Petty drove by Earnhardt like he was tied to a tree when he took the lead just a minute ago.
That car also is working well down on the inside, as is Brent Bodine's car. He just has a good setup for the bottom side of the racetrack right now on those worn tires, and it's working really good for him. You know, a lot of times we have a big halfway bonus, and maybe that's why he decided to get up there. We're coming close to the halfway point of this race.
There's a bit of smoke coming off Bill Elliott's number 11 with the Junior Johnson team as we check the lap time here, Ned.
They're coming up. Kyle Petty is about to put a lap on Alan Kowicki, who is having problems. Kowicki is in 33rd place. There you see the 33rd place going a lap down. Of course, he has lost a cylinder running on 7 cylinders.
Top 3 cover the line. 48.6.
Yeah, the speed has slowed down considerably, and that's because of the worn tires. The left side tires have been on there since they started this race. They've gone a half a race with them. That's what they wanted to do, especially if they run under green flag conditions, be able to run at least half of the race on left side tires, change the right side every time.
Elliott on pit road. Bill Elliott brings number 11 in.
And some smoke coming out the exhaust pipe on that car.
Yeah, he's got a problem there with that right side engine. Looks like he's dropped a cylinder. It might be a valve or something, but they've got a problem on that right bank.
Two-time winner of the 500 in 85 and 87. Last man to win it from the pole. They're pulling the pins.
Going under the hood. Well, this is a tough break for Bill Elliott.
And you saw Horton, number 32, getting back in it again.
Halfway right there. There was a race to the line. It was hard to tell who led it. It looked like maybe Earnhardt and Kyle Petty was almost a draw. That was the halfway mark.
Think you want to split the money? Here's David Hobbs.
Johnson himself trying to cool this engine down with the water hose, but it seems to be blowing oil back badly. It must have blown a piston or at least the rings. There's oil all under the engine cover there. The mechanics are looking, they can see the oil on the hood of the car above Mike Beam's head there. It's obviously blown off the filler cap on the left-hand bank of the engine there. They don't seem to be looking too excited about it. I think they're going to wheel it away. This is the second time this week that this car has suffered from severe oiling problems. We were told the other day they were using an experimental oil system, although we all thought perhaps I'd left a cover off.
Pit stops coming up. Front of the field coming in. Earnhardt coming in. And everyone's going to make it in this time. Let's see who's going to grab the lead as they come by. I think it'll be Kenny Wallace going back out in front.
No, he went left down a little bit ago, so it couldn't be him.
The 28 will take it. Davey Allison will be the leader now. We have some 20 cars on pit road.
Is that the first time Allison has led today? He'll get 5 bonus points.
Here's Mike Joy.
Dale Earnhardt getting right side tires. This will be a 4-tire stop. Just past him, Mark Martin is getting also 4 tires. Right behind, Jeff Gordon has brought his car into the pits. Sideways pit entry here, and he will get just right side tires. Second can of gas up and going in. A little early getting that first can out. They may not get quite a full load of fuel for Gordon here. A little trouble pulling the fender away on the right front. He ran over a little piece of debris there with that spoiler. They've got him down and away. Not a terribly quick stop, but it shouldn't hurt him too badly.
They were working on the car, putting tape on the thing. They were trying to work on the car. Evidently, it's a little pushy or something. They were changing some stuff. Really couldn't get I couldn't really see exactly what happened, but they were working on the front of the car.
Davey Allison became the 12th different leader in the 500, now on pit road. Number 27 now takes over in first place. Hut Strickland in the second Junior Johnson car. This was a Sterling Marlin ride with different colors a year back. Hut Strickland out of Alabama, now driving for Junior and leading in the 500. Here's Mike Joy.
Ken, Davey Allison got 4 tires as well. Jeff Gordon had complained his car was handling badly in the draft. It had developed a bad push. That's what we've seen all week when cars run a long number of laps under green. So they tried to loosen his car up a bit. Most all the tire temperatures I've been seeing are about the 165 to 180 degree mark. No real problems as far as that's concerned.
Thank you, Mike. And there you see plumes of smoke coming out of the Elliott car. She's been on pit road a considerable amount of time, over 3 minutes now, Ned.
And, of course, that has taken away any chance he'd have of winning this Daytona 500.
Boy, that thing is so hot. They had the radiator cap off, and it's so hot he won't even take water in. Let's go down to David Hobbs.
They got a big problem there. They tried to fill it up. They got smoke pouring out both exhaust pipes. We thought at one stage that one of the cylinder head gaskets had gone. Well, obviously it's not that. It's something throughout the whole engine. They tried to put more water in, but you know what it's like when you take the cap off. You just cannot get the stuff in there. So they're dejectedly pushing the car away. Bad start for the Bill Elliott 1993 season.
Over 4 minutes and going behind the wall. Bill Elliott.
They jokingly named that car the Valdez the other day after the oil down.
Oil spill?
Man, I tell you, it looks like they're having problems right off the bat.
Apparently it was overfilled with oil in that Busch Clash, and it cost them. Today, something else goes amiss. New crew chief Mike Beam having a lot of headaches starting the year.
If it were just to win more championship trophies, we wouldn't be here. If it were just to show the world Ford has the fastest cars, we'd just stay home. But there's a whole side to Ford racing that never gets covered on your sports page. It's learning how to make your car safer by racing 200 miles an hour in heavy traffic. It's a proving ground for advances like telemetry, a new computerized way to monitor an engine without even lifting the hood. And it's a chance to see how a granite roller coaster can make your truck even tougher. At Ford, racing lets us go as hard, as fast, and as far as we want. Because when it comes to developing technology for the Ford you can drive, there shouldn't be any limits. That's why we race. Of course, we're not about to give back all our trophies. Have you driven a Ford lately?
Imagine a deodorant that keeps a man feeling as clean and fresh as this all through the day. Well, this is it. Introducing New Band for Men. Clean and fresh because it goes on clear. And New Band for Men sets up a clear shield of protection against odor. Actually fights odor for a full 24 hours. Feel this clean. Feel this fresh. Try New Clear Band for Men deodorant.
Over the years, I've been pretty tough on cars, but hey, man, I wasn't paid to be gentle. Nowadays, I got a little bit different attitude. I own these babies.
You know, the better we take care of our equipment, the longer it lasts. And we always use STP products and have for the last 25 or 30 years. Maintenance, preventive maintenance is what it's all about. The problem is, some crazy kid always wants to drive it.
This Daytona 500 race summary is sponsored by STP, The Edge.
Race summary after 260 miles have been completed. 12 lead changes. Now note the record for lead changes in this race, 15 back in 1974. And with Hut Strickland moving into the leader category in this race, 12 different leaders, that record could be broken today. The other thing is the average speed at 172 is getting up toward that 177 mark that Baker set in 1980. You saw the attrition there. The Bill Elliott car still has not officially retired. It's behind the wall being worked on at this moment. And at this moment on the track, Derek Coe, former winner of the 500 in that Cinderella story back in 1990, for the moment, has the advantage for the great Cale Yarborough.
Of course, he's off sequence as far as pit stops are concerned. He'll be able to go another 7 or 8 laps. Looks like Alan Kowicki's car has slowed dramatically on the backstretch. Don't know if he's going to be able to continue on. He had lost a cylinder earlier, and look at him, the 1992 NASCAR Winston Cup champion, going very slowly. Could have run out of gas, but we'll see what the situation will be.
There's Harry Gant being shown in second spot at the present time with that number 33.
Of course, he too is off sequence on his pit stops.
Davey Allison looks like he's coming in. That would be an unscheduled stop.
Definitely. He made a pit stop not too long ago, and having to come back in.
Here's Mike.
You're right, fellas. Davey thinks that the right front tire may be going down. At first, they thought it might be just a difference in the air pressures from the set of tires they had on previously. But the spotter stationed high atop the grandstand called in and said it looked like the right front was soft. So rather than take a big gamble, they decided to bring him in here. This will hurt his chance of winning, but greatly increase his chance of finishing the 500.
Those STP race cams giving us these pictures as Davey Allison comes back on the track.
And the leaders are coming around, Ken. He's going to go a lap down. And, boy, that is tough to make up here at Daytona.
Then we saw him take off. We saw that fuel flying out the back of the car as he took off. You talk about frustrating. He's running as hard as he can go, and they're driving right on by. Hear him shifting gears just as much as he can wind it up, but he did go a lap down.
Here come the leaders. Right past him. Cope still leading, Gant in second, but these are the guys, when that gets sugared off and they make their pit stops, that will be battling for the lead. Make no mistake about that. Bodine will be in it too, and Rusty Wallace.
Actually, they're not too far behind. These cars we're seeing on the screen right now are not too far behind Harry Gant, and Gant still has a pit stop to make. He's going to be lucky after he makes his pit stop to be in the lead lap.
Second time he's been up in front today, and we'll get a gander at that interval right now. Give you folks at home an opportunity to see by how much Mr. September Harry Gant is leading here in the 500. There's Lake Lloyd looking pretty calm out there this afternoon.
And 14 seconds down the backstretch. That's
about where he was before, wasn't it, Ned?
Yeah. Of course, Derek Cope, the man leading this race, Gant is running in second place. Cope has yet to make a pit stop as well.
We're going to have this out of sync all day long until we have the first caution in it to get it sorted back out. But we've got like 2 different races going on in between these caution flags. Excuse me, in between the pit stops.
26 lead changes now among 12 drivers in the 500. Kyle Petty back there in 7th spot beneath Morgan Shepherd. Here's David Hobbs.
I'm down here with Cale Yarborough, our first camera winner in the 1979 CBS coverage of this race. Cale, your man Derek Cope's doing a heck of a job, but he's a bit out of sync on his pit stops. Is that a worry to you?
Well, yes, it is, David. We got had a little bit of push in the car and came in and tried to fix it. Now we're a little bit loose, so we just got a little bit out of sequence there. But the car's running good. If we can have a little bit of luck, I think you'll do all right.
So do you need another yellow flag? Because I see that Bob Johnson, your crew chief's got his wrench ready to put some weight in the car, right?
Right. We're going to adjust the weight. We're coming in the next lap.
Next lap. Okay, well, Cale Yarborough, it's great to see you back here at Daytona with a car on the lead lap.
Well, we hope we're going to stay in the lead lap, but, you know, we just got a little bit off there. But the car's running good if we just get it to handling a little bit better for him.
Thanks very much. Back to you, Ken.
4-time winner of the 500, and who will forget back in '83 and '84 when he gave us those great pictures in winning this race. Won it with Junior Johnson, great champion, but he's never won as a car owner.
They're coming in. When Cale says the car is pushing, it means he turns the steering wheel and the car will not turn. The front end continues to go straight. They compensated for that. They went too far. He said it's loose. That means you turn the wheel in the rear and almost flies out from under the car. So they're going to have to hit a happy medium between the two problems they had.
Changing all 4 tires. One of the crew members talking to him. There he goes. Or did they just change the left side tires? Yeah. 17.3 seconds.
Here's Chris Economaki with a very unhappy driver. Disappointed driver, probably better put. Chris?
Bill Elliott, it's sad to see you sitting here. We know you had an engine problem. Was this something that is a continuation of what happened in the clash?
No, by no means. The clash was just an oil overfilling problem. You know, today we were just kind of running along there trying to bide our time. When a Budweiser car, you know, was running awful well, and, you know, all of a sudden the car felt like it slowed down up off turn 4, and I looked up and it was running like 245 water temperature, and that was it for us.
How do you see the race, Bill, the way it's going here? You got any eye on somebody that might win it?
Well, you know, there's several cars in that bunch running well, and I was just trying to bide my time there.